You're going to need a block of wood and drill you a few holes in there so you can put a piece of copper wire and a screw to hold that in place, screwdriver to drive it home, or just tighten it down so it don't move around. Alright guys, glad I just checked my camera. It was froze up at 19 minutes, so yeah, that sucks. I have a red clay in the Super Sculpey. I already made 2 colors that I'm gonna use similar to the colors that I already got on the first flower I did. So if I missed some of the film, it's just me doing this, mixing the clay. Kind of boring. One thing's for sure, if you have a bad arthritis or something, you may want to invest in a pasta machine. I think I have one right here. I don't have arthritis though. See what happens just rolling that out. It's actually kind of neat looking. Just a little bit more. Look right there, that looks really good. Okay, there's the 3 colors. Finally, I got 3 colors mixed. This is the stem, the stalk. This is the flower. No. Beep. This is the this is the leaf. And the little leaves that house the flower, and this is the flower. What I want to do first is I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to put this on very thin, setting 1. Okay. Nice, even. Do everything in like a uniform manner. Nice and what I want to do is I take this liquid Sculpey and use a brush rather. Like I'll put some on this brush. Mix it around on there. Paint that liquid Sculpey on here. Nice thin, real thin layer, because it doesn't quite dry, but it gets tacky, sticky. Get that started for me, and then I'm going to wrap this just like I'm doing, nice and tight. This is 10 times easier than rolling out a worm and then wrapping the stalk like that. See, when I get enough clay, you don't gotta keep wrapping and wrapping. Just go and cut off the excess, and now all I have is just this one seam I have to take care of, as opposed to trying to mend 14 inches of worm together. It's just a lot better in my mind to do it like this. And look, it's not spinning, so already this is turning out to be better than the one I just made. And that's how it works. You do something and then you kind of work at it, and then next time it'll be better. Now I can put it in the wood and put the screw, as opposed to sticking the copper wire and then wrapping it with a little skinny worm and then trying to get it to... No. This is way much easier. A piece of this red. And then I need a piece of black. Just take a little tool and make like a little hole, and then, like I mentioned, one little drop of liquid in there, kind of fill in the hole. And then I'm going to take this, insert it in that hole, kind of wiggle it a few times, feel it grabbing really good. It'll give characteristics to your flower. And this liquid, what it does is it allows it to bond in the oven. You want to save your colors, so if you need them later you can come back and I'm going to take my 3 thingamabobs and insert them on. We're getting there, we're getting somewhere. I'm going to use this container. I had these small parts too. Cut this, and I'm using just a pick tool. It's pretty sharp. I've already stabbed myself a few times with it. That's what I'm after, is those pieces right there. Whoever you're doing this for, it doesn't matter how your flower turns out. It doesn't matter how this flower turns out. If the person you're making it for, if you love them and they love you, it's the thought about what you're doing that counts, not how well your flower turned out. Well, there's many reasons why you give someone a flower. So there's many reasons for you to watch this video. I can take my excess and be able to squeeze out a few more of these things, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not quite enough right there. Now you want to take each one of these circles you just made and you want to kind of pinch around half of it, like so. Now this end you leave alone, leave it thick, nice and thick. But you can take and you can doctor this up with your finger. Go along it like this. Lay it on the other side and you can kind of do the same thing. If you can remember which side looks the best, keep that in mind as well. Like right now I'll tell you this side right here looks the best. So I'm going to lay it over here. The more work you do to this while it's down here on this wax paper, the less painting and smoothing you're going to have to do with the finished product when it's finally done. So patience is like a virtue when it comes to this stuff. A little piece of that left over that I had. And you want to wrap it where all this comes together. Just wrap it, and you kind of want to pull back on the petals like so, and then come over on this side. You're wrapping it at the base. Kind of touch the top here and there, and it'll like fold over in a nice little manner. And you want to just keep staggering where they come together generally, but you could really do any kind of style. This is going to be plenty of petals. It's going to look pretty cool. I know I want to drop it down even more, so I'll come up. I won't come on the stalk, I'll come right here. It's a good little way right there. This is already looking better than the last flower I did. Can drop down just a little bit. One last petal to make it perfect. I'm liking it. This is just a rounded, curved, like a, you know, I don't even know what it's called, but then run my finger across it. It's pretty thick. By the way, it is, I do believe it's setting 5 on the pasta machine. Then come back and you want to like just rough it up, make it look like a leaf. Don't have to be all that perfect. I really like them leaves right there. Okay, we're nearly there. We're almost at the home stretch. Like a little eye. And I remember when I did my other one, I wanted it to curve a little bit, so just something for the clay to grab onto. And we're going to stick it right here in the middle. Well, and then just a wee little drop of this liquid Sculpey or diluent. Then you just take your other half of your leaf and set it on top. Try to be even about it, a lot more even than me. Press it down. It's raining outside. So beautiful. Now you're just gonna pinch down the edges like before. I'm running my finger along this and it's smoothing out and rounding off. Release it with a spatula. Turn it over. Now see, this side still looks good. I'm gonna take this little tool right here, real lightly, and then this tool right here. My cat's snoring pretty loudly. Guess the rain is too much for him. Now you got a beautiful, gorgeous leaf. I'm even gonna split if you cut all the way through, it splits. It's like a real unique look, I think. Almost pulled it off without using a spatula. Okay, so we got a leaf here. This is going really, really good. We are almost done. Just cut a piece of this off. And then I'm going to come down here like this and wrap. Fold me a little L right here so it'd be easier to hold this. Do the worm thing. Just a few rungs and then break them off. Try to get away with just spinning it. It's working. Yeah, it's working real well. I'm gonna wrap this. I'm really like heavy into thought. Fix this off. Oh, my baby's gonna love this flower. I might not be able to make monsters and aliens no more. I'll have to make just flowers. That looking really good. Better than I thought it was going to look. Now I'm going to take my liquid Sculpey. I just squeeze some up onto the rim right here. Just like that. It's getting nasty outside. This is going to be just to make it look, make sure it looks good. I'm going to paint these petals with softener to remove all the fingerprints and this shininess, it'll look like this after it's shellacked. So right about at this point, you can start getting excited. What we have here is this thing starting to look like it's real, you know. Now, very gently, kind of go over this, because there's some harsh cuts. Here comes the rain for real. Alright guys, this is like well into 2 hours, because I like to fool around with it a lot. So it says I got a 15-minute limit on uploading. I'll make the file as long as it'll allow, as large as it'll allow us, I should say. And you can, when it gets out of the oven, you can do touch-ups with acrylic paint, which I plan on doing that. So, got to cook these two things, and then